Dr. Amanwar, Director ke DHSMI henne ka khandai tarik unai tung araja arpho ula Pyntip iki Kyrteng Jong ki Ngut Kiba Khlad no henne ka stem. Uwei ni kini Kiba Khlad no ude ba bantai lang ar singai ubatre HSI Kolkata bar ubade unong shong shnong jong shnong lat charai. Uwei par ude unateshwar duri upulit BSF ubala Khlad henne ka step hakapor arbaje Neigrihms. Dakajing Khlad sakini ki Ngut kejala Meghalaya kaladan sangut ki Kiba Khlad Pyntip Dr. John Silo utrai ke Bethany Hospital bariwei khulung ibarang khandai banai ibawan Arunachal Pradesh ban phasumar Neigrihms.
The two persons who had passed away at Neigrihms, who were admitted at Neigrihms, and as per the records, as per the report from Neigrihms, one is Shri Bantailang R. Singhai. He is from Lalcharai, Ringoi district, and another one is Nandeshwar Tiuri. He is from BSF. I will read out the summary of Bantailang R. Singhai. The patient was admitted at Neigrihms on 5th July 2020 with complaints of pain in the right upper quadrant of the abdomen. He had just returned from Kolkata on that day and was in a quarantine facility prior to transfer to Neigrihms. He was transferred to Neigrihms on 5th of July 2020 itself when he had complained of pain, abdomen inside the quarantine center. On evaluation here in Neigrihms, he was diagnosed as a case of acute calculus cholecystitis. His sample was also taken for RT-PCR, which was positive for COVID-19. He was shifted to the COVID isolation ward and was conservatively managed. During his course of stay, he developed diarrhea and acute kidney injury and was transferred to the COVID ICU for further management. His two samples on 16th and 17th July were negative. Prior to him being taken to ICU, 16th and 17th July he was alright. His samples also have tested negative. He, however, developed sudden onset respiratory failure on the 18th of July 2020. He was initially managed on non-invasive ventilation but did not improve and was subsequently intubated. His respiratory failure worsened and he developed respiratory and cardiac arrest on 18 July 2020. CPR was given accordingly, but he could not be revived and was declared dead at 23:56 hours, 11:56 p.m. The immediate cause of death is type 1 respiratory failure with acute kidney injury. The antecedent cause is COVID-19 and the contributing causes is acute calculus cholecystitis. Yai ni nomor bidang ni mau apa sang mau di tempat lagi begini quarantine corona center lani ba inlet sayang ban quarantine nomor ba idang dan complication nau ni umah nomor idang complication nomor so te jo saya gani ka COVID-19 te kai ka jing batai na ko Neigrihms kilau ba ka injury ka ba jo kena kidney injury to bagi ai maki kadai na ka effect jok uni virus hakamet ka juli ta kada ki bat sai yang tu but haka kan new na test long negative ta bagi kampat declare bidang recover ikam declare no bidang kini kiwe kan fa tarik pare develop concern kini symptom summary of Nandeshwar Duri. He is a contact at Umpling BSF campus on 1st of July 2020, and as a high-risk case he was put under quarantine, and when they had done the RT-PCR it turned out to be positive. He was placed in the composite hospitals, and on 12th of July 2020, he was referred to civil hospital because of certain complaints which points out to complications of COVID-19. And from civil hospital, they had referred to Neigrihms on 13th of July 2020. This was the particular patient which I had mentioned, who was very serious and was critical. The patient had a history of contact with a laboratory confirmed case of COVID-19. He developed symptoms suggestive of COVID-19 and was tested on 4th of July, where it came out as positive. He was also a known case of type 2 diabetes. He was initially managed at BSF Composite Hospital, Umpling, but was referred to civil hospital in view of worsening breathlessness and persistent cough. He was then transferred to Neigrihms on 13th July 2020 in view of need for ICU care due to worsening symptoms. On arrival in Neigrihms, he was managed in the COVID ICU. He was in acute respiratory distress syndrome with severe sepsis and multi-organ failure. He did not improve with treatment. He developed respiratory and cardiac failure, which did not improve with resuscitative efforts and expired on 19th July 2020 at 2 a.m. The immediate cause of death is type 1 respiratory failure with multi-organ dysfunction syndrome. Antecedent cause is COVID-19 and acute respiratory distress syndrome. Contributing causes is type 2 diabetes mellitus.